Hi everyone, this is Gary Berman, host of the Cyber Hero Adventure Show, coming to you from Washington, D.C. And we have a very, very special briefing today regarding the release of a new report, the report to the President, a strategy for cyber physical resilience. And we'll have a link to learn more and to download your copy. It was an extraordinary privilege to listen and learn from retired Admiral Mark Montgomery, who was the moderator of a wonderful panel. The thing that to me that's different than what we've heard before is it's not theoretical. You know, you're putting a stake in the ground for whatever the operational function is of the infrastructure. That okay, by X number of days, our goal is to have Y result. And one of the challenges of cybersecurity is that we don't want to just be speaking to the same people. And we need to get this out to the broad population. So if it affects you waiting in line for gas, or if it affects your meat, or fill in the blanks, then all of a sudden the general population is going, hey, light bulb, wait a minute.
Yeah, it makes it explainable. I think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's the first of the four goals, and the second goal was bolster and coordinate research and development. And
I don't think they talked about their big one there. So let me give you their big one. It's that we have all these things called, like ARPA's kind of famous. It's now DARPA, Defense ARPA, Advanced Research Projects, and that's what invented the internet and the Wayback Machine. But it's been on the cutting edge of military development. It's got a lot of research and development money and a lot of innovation going on there. We've formed like IARPA for the intelligence community, HARPA for healthcare, HSARPA for homeland security. And they're like, look, we got to get all these aligned. We got to understand where's the corporate, where's DOD's R&D, where's the non-DOD government R&D, maybe at National Science Foundation and other places on basic R&D, and where's corporate R&D at, and make sure that we're very effectively investing our money in research and development so that we get, first of all, to ensure that we're doing enough, and then once we're doing enough, that we're doing it efficiently and effectively.
Indeed.
And so I think that's...
Is this breaking news here? I've never had a
scoop.
No,
but they...
You want to be my first scoop?
No, I don't think it's a scoop. I just think it's...
What's it called?
Well, no, I mean, they want to coordinate these things, these different ARPAs.
Okay.
No, they didn't give it a name.
Okay.
They gave one name to one of their things. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the next one is, to break down silos. This is a widely known challenge, and from all the listening and learning that I've done, criminals are horizontally structured, so they don't have impediments. They share threat information and resources freely. But the defenders are vertically structured, and there are competitive reasons, intellectual property rights, the patchwork of global, state, and local regulatory, requirements and things like that. Sometimes the not invented here thing, people don't want to share. How do you, what did you find in this report on how to break down the silos?
So I think the two big areas were, first is they're like, hey, make sure you're properly funding your sector risk management agencies so they're working closely and they can do that cross-sector work with the other federal government agencies, and they can help fund any cross-sector work that needs to be done across the sectors when integrated with the private sector. So first is like get that sector risk management agency right. That is a 23-year problem, right? We created these, we called them sector-specific agencies back in the day, but bottom line is they've been around 23 years. Some agencies do a good job, and it's a mix. It's the agency plus its congressional authorization and appropriators. Some are good. Energy, financial services are in good shape, and there's 14 others.
Wow.
So I would describe them as medium to bad shape.
Okay.
We've written extensively, so I don't mind saying it. Water's in bad shape. We said healthcare is in bad shape. I think the last 3 weeks of change, healthcare has kind of demonstrated they're in bad shape. The ransomware attacks that are just
you're referring to
drilling, United Healthcare Group's problem. The ransomware attacks that have just been drilling the healthcare industry demonstrate they're in poor shape. So to me, getting that fixed is important. That's the first. The second part was this cool idea, and it's in the report, so it's not breaking news, but most people haven't heard about it. It's investing in a national critical infrastructure observatory.
Love that.
Yeah,
yes.
it's like it's a digital twin. For military guys like me, it's like JWAC, the Joint Warfighting Analysis Center. That's the kind of nondescript name we use for the thing that targets our adversaries, and that allows us to then say to the adversaries, hey, we're going to, we've got you tattooed. We understand where your flaws are, where your weaknesses are. Right now, China probably has a JWAC that looks at America. We're saying we need a JWAC, our own version of that, so we can look at America ourselves, have a digital twin that we test and assess, find our own vulnerabilities. That's going to be very expensive.
During the congressional testimony recently, I think it was Director Wray who emphasized that point by saying that from a personnel standpoint, China had a 50-to-1 ratio advantage over us, and I later learned there were some like 285,000 kind of hackers, whatever that term means, in uniform. I don't know. Whatever the numbers are, I mean, it's still...
They have a significant advantage over us number-wise. That doesn't mean they're, I think there's a qualitative difference between our things.
I'm sure. Yeah.
But eventually quantity does have a quality all its own. And we see that in any kind of weapon system, and you eventually see it in cyber. So I would say, once you get to like 50-to-1, I don't know I'll stipulate that he said that number. I don't know if it's true or not. That's a big number.
On behalf of a grateful digital universe, Mark, thank you so much for who you are and what you do and why you do it. And to our audience at home, stay tuned for more.